So the newest edition in the newest edition. 18 years later, and I finally got one, a MIDI controller. So the thing about it is, they make them specifically for Pro Tools, and it just integrates right in easily. For Fruity Loops, they make one. Novation is a trademark of Focusrite Audio Engineering, etc. So the interface I have is a Focus. So this should just go right in. Everything should work easily. It also has like the drum section. You can just hit the things. It looks like just a regular piano keyboard. The difference is this one thing. This one functionality makes it different. And it's this MIDI cable. So this MIDI out is the one thing that keyboard doesn't have. So I knew the time was going to come eventually, but I got it. It says, made to create. Launch keys are intuitive, fully integrated MIDI keyboard controller for making tracks in Ableton Live. Gives you everything you need to create and play your music. Designed for Ableton Live. Immediate access to all the controls you need. Produce and perform. 49 note velocity sensitive keyboard and 16 velocity sensitive RGB backlit pads. So this is like an MPC, which is those like beat things where they just hit it. This like has that in it. Like, you know what I mean? The whole thing by itself is just part of this. So transport and mixer control, directly operate playback, recording, pans, mutes, and sends. So it's essentially a DAW controller. It's essentially a Cue-based controller or a Fruity Loops controller. It doesn't matter who makes what and what ones they send. As long as you have that MIDI output, you plug it in and then like that's all you need. This one stupid fucking thing that I had to buy this hundreds of dollar thing. Like I had to buy this $200 thing just for this one like cable thing. But now I'm good and now I don't need it and like I never have to buy one ever again. 18 years after starting, I finally got a MIDI controller. Like it's, you know what I mean? Where there's a will, there's a way. Never give up. Being a couple $100 in the hole for a couple of weeks is worth finally getting to do something I've been trying for 18 years. So, you know what I mean? You can always get more money later. It's not about that. Connect to your hardware. 5-pin MIDI out works with any MIDI compatible device. So the interface. Control anything MIDI. Create custom mappings for any performance or studio we're using Novation components. So it comes with Ableton Live Lite virtual instruments, effects, plugins, and sample packs included. I'm not using any of that. I'm just gonna give it to my friends or whatever. But the problem is, right, I can't just use a USB cable because the interface I have only has one USB output and it's being used to plug into the computer. So either I had to get the big interface with more inputs and more options and stuff, or a whole new keyboard. But then I'm like, wait a minute, I already have a keyboard, but then it's just not happening. You know, and I'm not gonna sit there wrestling in the software trying to convert audio to MIDI to audio. I'm not doing all that. You're just supposed to get the thing designed for it. You know, so like Hans Zimmer and all the Batman music and all that, they use this. This is the thing that gets you the sound. So in theory, right, I always used to say, I could just get a $90 like keyboard and just bypass all these sounds and all this machinery and just go in the computer and access the $1 million sounds of the computer. The problem is, it has no MIDI output. It only has USB, which is only one Omni interface being used to go in the computer. So it's either a $1,000 interface with everything I need and I never have to worry again, or just get the one tool and then it's like unlimited potential. So I don't necessarily need the interface. The reason I was gonna get the $1,000 interface is because it has enough mic inputs to like record an actual drum set and maybe be able to make money someday and charge money and not be doing digital drums. Like, you know what I mean? So that's really what they're paying for. They're paying the studio for the time, the services, the skills, expertise, whatever. But they're really almost paying for the fun experience of playing drums in the studio, which you can't blame them. Like, on the negative end, you get the guys that just go and they fuck off the whole time and they go and have fun and jam and like, they're not really concerned with making a professional album and maximizing all the time and coming prepared and practicing and giving them all the tempo maps and like time sync. Some people just fuck off and they go to the studio for the experience, you know what I mean? And then let him do the rest of the work. Like, it doesn't work that way. You're there to produce a professional album and show up prepared. In any event, that's the negative end of it. The positive end is there's nothing wrong with wanting to bang drums and have fun and play and like have fun with the experience of it. Especially when everybody in the band can probably put the album together themselves. But like, let's just go for the experience. Let's go for the real thing. Let's go for the old, back in the old days, you know? But like, I've already been doing virtual drums. I already recorded my own drums and made my own samples out of it. Like, I can use this as a sample. So, in other words, the fake drums, there's 1,000,001 ways to do it. But if you actually want to charge money, you need to be able to record an acoustic drum set and let them have the experience. You know what I mean? And then just do all the shit later, lining it up and all that in post-production. But like, you can't charge money and like give them fake drum. Like, it's just not the same thing. You know, like you can, but my conscience wouldn't allow me to do it. Like, I like helping my friends and all that, but not if it encroaches on my mental health and my time and energy that are vital, like supplies, you know, vital resources. But I'm getting there. You know what I mean? One piece at a time. The whole object, right, is like, it's not about toys and colors and bells and whistles and all this shit. It's really about just getting the platform to a point where you don't have to wrestle everything anymore and struggle anymore. And like, it's making the workflow easier. Like, they're just tools to make it quick and easy so I can do other things in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't want to wrestle your shit all the time. So let me like show you what the real thing is. So you got to spend like hundreds of dollars for this one wire, like, but then you can do everything. You know what I mean? So like, I could essentially use what I have already and try like workarounds. I'm done, bro. 20 years of paying dues. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'm done struggling. I paid my dues. I had my fill, and like I'm getting ready to retire the feather in my cap that was always like, oh, I can match these giant studios with a $500 thing, and like, you know, it was just eventually time to get. These are like critical components. So yeah, it's all fun and everything, but I need it. You know, so it kind of kills a fraction of the fun. But hey, the fun comes back when you don't have to wrestle anymore, struggle anymore like that. I'm just excited that, you know, I'm slowly building this thing up. It's nowhere near ready to like be a business yet. The reason I said businesses is I really meant income streams, like t-shirts and whatever. Like it's not there on the ground just yet. So yeah, they're income streams. They're not necessarily separate businesses. Like, you know what I mean? It's all part of one aggregate entity. ZF Freaking Music, aka the Emperor, aka the ZF Spectrum, as affectionately given to me by my buddy, Battleship Radio TV. Go check out Battleship Radio TV. DJ General Anakin Vader. You gotta go check out this guy's channel. That dude is like my bro, dude. Check out Battleship Radio TV for genuine comedy, genuine art, genuine struggle, just like ZF Music the Emperor, who belongs to the Angel. So really, if it was a business, it was just a matter of me saying to myself, hey, if I'm gonna buy multi-$1,000 like equipment, doesn't it make more sense to do it as a business for the tax breaks than just out of pocket and the thing breaks in a month and then you're like, you know what I mean? To have something to show for it. That was really the reason for that. But I've already been operating for 22 years. So, you know what I mean? It's about just like weighing the pros and cons and looking at, you know, the realistic situation where the rubber meets the road on the ground as a struggling, fucking almost homeless musician. It's just a thing like, hey, I'm doing it anyway. Like I've been doing it anyway. I was doing this for 9 years already before I ever went to audio engineering school. And the only reason I went there is to meet people, to wheel and deal with and get like maybe some more connections and just learn about some gear that I need to buy. And like that was really, I already knew the shit. And I was the annoying kid that would always raise his hand at every answer because I went in there overqualified, you know what I mean? Just for some fake frenemies to say that like, oh, you know, I didn't go to school. And I'm like, you realize I was doing this for 9 years already. So it's like a completely moot point it's something you say to yourself that like, well, I'm doing this anyway, so I might as well just do it the better way. If this is like the purpose of my life, there's smarter, more efficient like ways to do shit. Sometimes you gotta wait, you know, sometimes you gotta sacrifice. It's just what it is like anybody else that struggles. But hopefully this will integrate right into the Cubase.